What is up? What's good with you? I am MotoristX and welcome to an edition of the RevVlog, a series where I vlog about automotive events, history, and lore. Today I'll be showing you my time at an edition of Cars and Coffee Irving. As the name suggests, this meet was located in Irving, Texas, but more specifically, this was located in the Las Colinas part of the city. This meet is organized by Dallas-based auto group Cars and Coffee Texas alongside Avondale dealerships, and to my knowledge it is held on a monthly basis. It is one of the bigger meets in the Metroplex, so keeping that in mind, it does have a higher risk of being shut down at any point. Why, you ask? Well, North Texan police departments and landowners have ultimately gotten stricter on how these events have operated within recent years. Mostly with good reason, but sometimes a little bit on the petty side too, I ain't gonna lie with that. So you never know when meets like this will either have to relocate or whether each edition you hear about or attend could be the very last. Having said all that, I'm glad I got the opportunity to catch this one, and I assure you I'll be looking out for future iterations to come back to as well. Overall, there was a huge turnout, lots and lots of variety, overall nice crowd, and luckily a small amount of obnoxious behavior. An absolute must for car meets moving forward in this day and age. Now enough with that introductory stuff, let me actually show you what this meet Cars and Coffee Irving was all about. So go ahead, get ready to kick back and enjoy this RevVlog. Alright, first car of the lot, we are starting off strong. 991 GT3. Alright, love me Porsches, love me 911s, love me kind of orange cars. You know, they've been kind of growing on me lately, but starting off strong to this big expansive lot with a heavy hitter. Got a couple of Japanese cars right here. I'm loving this 86 right here with some of the aero it has on it. But right next to this, do my eyes deceive me? This is a 500E. Let's take a closer look at this once these people pass. All right, getting you a more grounded shot of this thing. Look at this. You know, it's Mercedes like this you don't really see often. And, you know, I'm all for diversity, all for variety, all right? Oh, I was wrong. It's a 300E instead of a 500E. Not too familiar with my older Mercedes, so if you know you happen to know these cars or know a thing or two about these cars, you know, go ahead and correct me, you know, in the comments or wherever you see this. Making our way right here, we got an old Jag right here. Nice classic British kind of Grand Touring sedan, and then we have a little boat. But not just any boat, it's a Hearst, all right, or Hearst-tuned boat. Normally not a fan of any Swedish cars, but I gotta give some love to any Volvo R or R design series that I see. You know, this is kind of Volvo's attempt to kind of enter that performance game. And you know, these cars aren't really a lot on paper, but they do provide, you know, people like you and I another option when it comes to choosing, you know, sports sedans here and there. All right, we got a couple of American V8s right here, Challenger, Charger, and this one, I'm not sure if it has a V8 in it, but this is either a CT4 or a CT5, all right? One of Cadillac's new line of these. All right, what has my eyes over here in this back corner is this Roush Mustang, all right? I love me Mustangs, I own one, all right? Have always loved Mustangs, you know, they're one of my favorite cars. And I just love seeing special variants like this very Roush right here. All right, this Roush Speedster kind of looking Mustang, in fact. Look at that candy red. Look at that engine bay. Oh my gosh. The details on this thing are everything. All right, closer look at that engine bay. And just look at this rear kind of cockpit cowl or whatever. I don't know what you call these things, but it's this speedster part that makes cars like this, you know, unique and stand out. All right, right here we got an old school BMW. This is a 2002, all right, and it is one of the precursors to really the M3 and all of its kind of later generations. But I will say about this car, it's not my particular favorite, but it's nice to see this thing, you know, come out whenever, you know, these things do come out. And especially if this is an Alpina, which I don't think it is, but all the more merrier if that got that Alpina treatment on it. All right, over here we got some classic muscle from Chevrolet, starting with this 1970 Nova, all right? And then right next to it, we kind of have its little or kind of younger sibling, the Camaro, All right, just look at that orange paint. If you can see all the details, because I don't think this camera really does this car justice. Right next to those two, we got a Pantera. Reminds me a lot of the other kind of big hitters it was trying to compete against, from Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Maserati. Let me give you a close-up shot of this, kind of interior right here. Of course, it is mid-engine, so the engine is going to be all the way in the back, but it has this nice little frunk space right here, showing you off those cockpit lines, and now giving you a closer glimpse of that mid-engine V8. I think this is Ford sourced, because I know a lot of these Panteras had a lot of old kind of Windsor engines that Ford was producing back in the day. Looks like it is a Ford engine if I'm correct. I'm not sure. All right, love me some clean G bodies right here. Of course, this is the original, the Monte Carlo. All right, this is automatically one of my favorite cars of the meet. All right, if you know me, you know I love Fords, you know I love Mustangs. All right, want to build up my collection of Mustangs and want to own one of these things one day. This is a Boss 302. All right, this was one of the original kind of high performance options you would find in the first generation of Mustang. All right, and of course, as some of you Ford fanatics might be able to tell, this is of course colored in grabber blue. But commentary, specs, and history aside, just look at this thing, man. Just look at this thing. Gosh. And speaking of grabber blue Stangs, we got another one here. It's an S550 GT500, all right? Again, the color on this car pops very much like that Boss 302 we just saw. All right, another car you don't see here out in the open that much. Here in North Texas, we got a Maserati Grand Sport. All right, got a 4.2 liter V8. All right, it's a Grand Touring Coupe from Maserati that appeared in the mid to kind of late 2000s. And I believe this was the precursor to the current Maserati Gran Turismo Coupe that's very much in shape like this car. Walking past this lot quickly, we have a couple of GTs, well, a couple McLarens. I think two of these are GTs. This one, I want to say maybe might be an Artura. I'm not entirely sure with all my new McLarens, but it's a gorgeous car nonetheless. All right, this wasn't a Artura. I was right. All right, the one time I'm actually right about guessing a car that I had doubts on. Again, beautiful. I think the Artura is more of like a Grand Touring Coupe rather than an all-right sports coupe from McLaren. But yes, this thing will run up canyons and corners fairly easily, all right, because that is what these cars are made to do. All right, look at this smiley boy right here. We got that British Miata, aka the Lotus Elise. All right, this was Lotus's bread and butter during the kind of late 90s and the early 2000s, actually the entire 2000s, and I would say the early 2010s. All right, had one bigger brother, the Exige, which I think is still being produced, but this thing unfortunately got retired, I think sometime during the early 2010s, if not the late 2000s. So seeing these is always a pleasant surprise, because you never know when you might not see one of these again. Gotta show some love to this McLaren right here, 720S, carbon bits here and there, gold rims, just tasteful color combination right here. All right, we got another hot Mustang right here. This is an S197 first gen GT California Special. All right, these things weren't all that different from the base GTs that came out in the same generation, but they did have slightly rated horsepower. I think they had better braking systems and a little bit of a more adaptable, kind of adjustable suspension setup as well. But of course, the big thing that you can, tell these cars apart from regular GTs is, of course, the signature GTCS kind of emblem and vinyl going across the entire side of the car right there. Watch out. You're good. Oh, my fault. Whoa. walking down this side of the lot, we got two C4s right here, all right? One in this, you know, blue greenish type of color right here, and then another one right here in a kind of rock star inspired livery with it, all right? And then of course you got those tastefully added white wheels, might I say. I'm digging this. I'm digging this. All right here we got some showstoppers right here. Black Series AMG GT, and then right next to it we got some competition in the form of the 488 Pista. All right, gorgeous track cars right here. All right, I think pushing both over 700 something, but both also coming in a gorgeous kind of gunmetal grayish metallic type of color. You see all those lines, see all those accents, the vents, you know, all of that silhouette on both of these cars. Just gorgeous cars to look at and especially see here in person. Right here, getting you a glimpse of this A80 Super right here, right next to what I think is a STO Hurricane. I'm loving this lime green, and it really pops out to you. And you got an old school Gallardo right there, first gen as well. Words do not comprehend how much I love, you know, the 992 GT3 RS. A lot of aero on this thing, a lot of carbon fiber, but all of it is being put to good use whenever you drive this thing on the track. Or if you want to hit some, you know, kind of corners and bends on your local roads here and there, legally. Here we got some old school roadsters right here. I believe this is a Honda S600 or S800. And then right here, we got an old school Mercedes-Benz SL. I believe this is a 280 SL. And this is actually one of my favorite, you know, Mercedes-Benz SLs, you know, and their entire lineup, aside from the SLR and the original 300 SL back in the 50s. Another showstopper over here, the latest gen Ford GT. All right, this one has the V6 unlike prior generations, but it still makes a punchy and throaty sound and really gives its competition a run for its money. I guarantee you that. We got somewhat of a classic 911 right here, a 996. I believe it is a Carrera 4S maybe, I'm not sure, but all I know is it's a gorgeous yellow 996 with those GT2-ish type of inlets. And I think the turbos have those as well, but this car is neither of those two. Nonetheless, beautiful example of the 996 generation all right here. Oh, look at that booty right here. Oh my God. Now this is booty I'm talking about. Nothing fake, nothing unnatural. Just all substance right here, baby. Got a Technica right here. Damn. Viper's over there too. Cars are still pulling in, by the way, as some are also exiting at this point. So trying to shoot at these meets is kind of hectic, you know, because you really want to get to all of the cars and the vehicles, you know, you love. And for me, I want to try to give you as much as, you know, what I really rock with, you know, not just anything, you know, normal or basic, anything like that, you know what I mean? So it'd be tough sometimes because cars you'd be seeing leaving, it's like, damn, I wish you would have gone some footage or something like that. But it is what it is. Charge it to the game, you know? Sheesh, I don't know what to say about this. I kind of like it, kind of not, but it's something. It's something, all right. NSX followed by Type R FK8. Love to see the Hondas come out wherever they go. Get you a closer shot of this R34 sedan. I think this is either an ER or an HR. I don't know the difference between the two. I should, because I call myself a Nissan fanboy. But nonetheless, regardless of what it is, it's good to see things like this pop out at meets, especially here in North Texas. Look at that front fascia, all right? You can see that big old intercooler. It looks like a Blitz intercooler. But you can see all of this R34 sedan. It's all its glory. And it's kind of somewhat loud white it's got on right here. It's very white. And I don't think the camera really does this car, really any of the cars here, justice. But nonetheless, you get to see what I see here at meets like this. Side profile is fresh as hell, as usual with these cars. Close-up of this Honda Beat right here. Love this thing. All right, we got more cars down there, but of course, I do want to pay some respects and love to the Focus over here. You already know I'm Focus, gang. Gotta get this bad boy in for the clips. Better close-up of this FL5 right here. Championship white, standard color on all the Type R's for the past, honestly, 30-ish years, you know, that they've been in existence. I'd say maybe even longer if I could do my math correctly, but I want to say it's 30 years. Starting with the NSX-R, then followed by the Civic Type R, then the Integra. Then for a little bit, the Accord, they had their own Type R as well. But yeah, now the only sole Type R that remains is the Civic. And this is it in its latest iteration or generation, whatever you want to call it. And if any of you are looking to buy a new SUV, all right, an actual SUV, look no further than this new and updated Land Cruiser. Now this thing has always rolled around, and I've always seen this thing in the distance on streets, but never this close. And never this, you know, up in person, man. It's just something else when you can see cars like this, especially this gorgeous bright orange, you know, S130. All right, here got a decent lineup of cars I like, you know, M3, RS5 right here, GTR, GT350, and then onwards to some more BMWs, another GTR. And a Gallardo over there. Let's go check to see if it's a Performante. All right, I have no idea if I'm gonna be honest if this is a Performante or not, because I just go by the side stripes. But it's got the front ducts of one, the front bumper. I think it does have the rear wing of one. I can't really tell unless if I look at the engine or look at the inside of the car, but regardless of what it is, you know, like many of these cars, it doesn't matter if it's special or not. It's still nice to see, you know, things like this come out, especially for those who are fans of these cars. It's still nice to see these kind of come in all different, you know, iterations and variations, you know what I'm saying? Variety's a good thing, I'm telling you, variety's a good thing. LED's going crazy. I did not catch you. Glad I did now though. Let's look at this lineup right here. Alright, so we have reached the end of this RevVlog, but hold up, let me know what you liked about this meet and if you want to see me cover a possible later edition as well. Also, let me know of any other car meets, car shows, or car related events you want to see me pull up to and get you coverage of next. Again, this has been yours truly, MotoristX, and this was an edition of the RevVlog.